Hello students, how are you all? I want to start social science class. Okay, take your social science book, all of you, open page number 303. Before start the class, have you completed your classwork and homework? You have to submit the classwork and homework. As then you have to get the sign from them, subject maps. So you finish your classwork and homework the day itself. Okay, so for that you will get the marks. Okay, every day we check the homework, we correct it. Okay, we are keeping the register for that. So you should finish your homework and classwork the day itself. Got it? The next day it will not be marked, so you will lose the mark. So finish your classwork and homework properly so that you can get marks. Okay, so today we are going to start a new lesson in economics, unit 2, globalization and trade. Globalization and trade. Okay, have you opened your book, page number 303? In economics already we have completed the first unit, third unit and fourth unit, is it? So today we are going to start a new lesson, unit 2, globalization and trade. Okay, you see that in introduction what is given: liberalization, privatization and globalization have become a much talked of subjects among politicians, economists and businessmen in modern days. Okay, so the LPG means liberalization, privatization and globalization. Okay, so what is liberalization? The Tamil meaning of liberalization means தாராளமயமாக்கல். Okay, that means all the countries, they can do the trade with any other country without any rules. Okay, லிபரலாக என்ன செய்யலாம், அவங்க ட்ரேட் பண்ணலாம். That is called liberalization. Okay, then privatization means all will be controlled by the private. Okay, all the trade will be controlled by the private. That is called the privatization. And the globalization means the trade between all the countries. Okay, you see the picture, global trade in North America to Europe, Asia Pacific, Australia, Africa, South America, all the continents are there included, is that no? So that is called globalization. The Tamil meaning of globalization is உலகமயமாக்கல். Got it? Globalization. What is globalization? Globalization is the integration of a country with the world economy. Basically, globalization signifies a process of internationalization plus liberalization. Okay, so the globalization means that is one of the integration. Integration means ஒருங்கிணைத்தல், எல்லா கண்ட்ரியும் ஒரு ஒருங்கிணைக்கிறது தான் globalization, உலகமயமாது. Okay, and this is basically globalization signifies a process of internationalization. That means all the countries. Okay, internal. Okay, so not in the country, internationalization. Okay, country to country, the trade is there in between the country to country, so it is called the globalization, internationalization plus liberalization. Okay, அது வந்து உலகத்தில் உள்ள எல்லா நாடுகளுக்கும் இடையிலையும் நடந்துச்சு, தாராளமாக நடந்துச்சு, ரொம்ப விதிமுறைகளுக்கு இல்லாமல் ஃப்ரீயாக அவங்க என்ன செய்யலாம், எந்த கட்டுப்பாடுகளும் இல்லாமல் அவங்க எல்லா நாடுகள் கூடயும் ட்ரேட் வந்து பண்ணிடலாம். ட்ரேட் மீன்ஸ் வாட்? வியாபாரம், வணிகம். எஸ்ஆர்னோ அவங்க ஏற்றுமதி பண்ணலாம், இம்போர்ட், they can import and they can export the goods. Okay, history of globalization. The term of globalization was introduced by Professor Theodore Levitt. So the Theodore Levitt only, he introduced the word globalization. Okay, and there are 3 stages are there in the globalization. Stage 1 is archaic globalization. Stage 2 is proto-globalization. Stage 3 is modern globalization. Okay. Shall we read one more time, all of you? Once again, do you read with me, all of you? Stage 1 archaic globalization. Stage 2 proto-globalization. And stage 3 modern globalization. Got it? So these three stages are very important in the history of globalization. The first one is archaic globalization. Okay, archaic globalization. The ancient time, the trade, the people they did trade. They used the sea routes and silk roads, many things to do their trade. Okay. ஸோ த ஆர்காயிக் மீன்ஸ் இந்த ஏன்ஷியன் பீரியடில் வந்து எப்படி வந்து அவங்க ட்ரேட்லாம் பண்ணாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி பார்க்க போகிறது ஆர்காயிக் குளோபலைசேஷன். ஓகே. Andre Gunter Frank argued that a form of globalization has been in existence since the rise of trade links between Sumer and Indus Valley civilization in the 3rd millennium. An early form of globalized economics and culture known as archaic globalization. Already I told the ஏர்லி டைமில் முன்னாடியே முற்காலங்களில் நடந்த அந்த எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் பொருளாதாரம் அவங்களுடைய கல்ச்சர் அதை தான் என்ன சொல்லுது ஆர்காயிக் குளோபலைசேஷன். ஓகே. அண்ட் ஏர்லி form of globalization in the trade link between the Roman Empire, Parthian Empire and the Han Dynasty. Okay, made the commercial links between these powers and spurred the development of the Silk Road. Okay, so in the ancient time, the Roman Empire, Parthian Empire and Han Dynasty, so they made the link between each others. Okay, and they made the Silk Road to do the trade. Got it? The Islamic age was also important early stage of globalization. The advent of the Mongol Empire, thou destabilizing to the commercial centers of the Middle East and China. So the trade was happening between the many countries. Okay, if you see the picture, okay, see the map in the book page number 304, silk and spice route. Okay, you see the blue in color, that is sea route, and the red in color, that is land route. Okay, so the land route, you see that it passes through Persia, China and comes to India also, at the same time the sea route goes as Java, Indian Ocean to India, Arabia, Somalia, Egypt, so it was going like this. So these the Dan Dynasty and what is that Han Dynasty, and some people they have made these routes, silk route and spice route. Okay, pattu route. Okay, so silk means what? Pattu. Spice means the vasanai thiraviyangal, vasanai பொருட்கள். So the Roman Empire, Parthian Empire and the Han Dynasty, they made the commercial links between the countries. Okay, then the next one is proto-globalization. Okay, proto-globalization. The next phase is known as proto-globalization. It was characterized by the rise of maritime European empires. In the 16th and 17th centuries, first the Portuguese and Spanish empires and Dutch and British empires. Okay, so the first globalization, what is that? Archaic globalization. In archaic globalization, what were the empire did to the archaic globalization time? The Roman Empire, Parthian Empire and Han Dynasty were there in the archaic globalization time. Okay, in proto-globalization time, European Empire, in that Portuguese, Spanish empires, Dutch and British empires, these all were there in the proto-globalization time. Okay, in the 17th century, globalization became private business phenomenon like British East India Company, described as the first multinational company, and the first Dutch East India Company were established. Okay, so when the when the proto-globalization was introduced in the time, British East India Company and the Dutch East India Company were established in the time. Okay, the proto-globalization time only these companies were established. Then the next one is modern globalization. Okay, modern globalization. The 19th century witnessed the advent of globalization approaching its modern form. Between the globalization in the 19th and in 20th century, there are significant differences. There are two main points. One is the global trade in his centuries as well as the capital investment and the economy, and another one is the global trade in the 20th century shows a higher share of trade in merchant production, growth of trade in services, and the rise of production and trade by multinational firms. Okay, so in this modern globalization, two important points are there. ஓகே, அந்த நவீனமயமாக்கலில் வந்து ஒரு இரண்டு முக்கியமான கருத்துகள் இருக்குது. எதானோ தே ஆர் the global trade in his centuries as well as the capital investment and the economy, and another one is the global trade in the 20th century shows a higher share of trade in merchant production, a growth of the trade in services, and the rise of production and trade by multinational firms. Okay, got it? So in modern globalization, most of the people they involved, is that no? So it was changed as the modern globalization from proto globalization. Okay, so globalization means, if you see that in the ancient, in the early time, some years before, when the organic globalization, proto globalization was there, in that time the trade were happening between some countries. Okay, and they some countries, what are the things they did, they used those things only. Okay, so like car, cool drinks, and many things, as are no clothes, everything we used, like India, as are no in India the ambassador cars and some type of cool drinks we produced. Okay, those things only were used by the people. Okay, but when the globalization was formed, then we did the trade in between the countries. Okay, so we exported some things and we imported many things from other countries. Okay, so now we use many types of cars and we use many types of cool drinks, as we use many types of foreign clothes, foreign cars, every type of cars in India we get from other countries, as most of the type of cars we get from other countries. Okay, so the globalization, it is one of the useful, so because it connects the link, as a link between the countries, so that all the countries they can export all the things and they import all the goods from other countries also. What are the things they need, they can get from other countries. Okay, so the export and import happening between the countries because of the globalization. Okay, so that is the important one in the politics, and as well as in economically also the globalization is one of the very important basis. Okay, trade and traders in South India historical perspective. Southern Indian trade guilds were formed by merchants in order to organize and expand their trading activities. Trade guilds become channels through which Indian culture was exported to other lands. So most of the people they wanted to do trade in India. Okay, like in British East India Company, they were established the company in India and they did trade as an also, because India is one of the greatest country because all the resources are there in India, as an also most of the country people they loved India's resources, so they wanted to occupy our country, as an, and it was controlled by British East India Company. They established the company and Dutch also. Okay, Dutch also they established the companies. Okay, they used them India's resources. Okay, so what are in South India, especially in South India, and the in the South India was controlled by Pandyas, Cheras, Cholas, yes or no? In that time, British from England, British people came and they did trade in India. Okay, so what trade they followed and what are the traders they came in India and what about the trade we are going to see that. Okay, history of globalization. The term of globalization was introduced by Professor Theodore Levitt. So the Theodore Levitt only he introduced the word globalization. Okay, and there are three stages are there in the globalization. Stage 1 is archaic globalization, stage 2 is proto globalization, stage 3 is modern globalization. Okay, shall we read one more time all of you? Once again you read with me all of you. Stage 1 archaic globalization, stage 2 proto globalization, and stage 3 modern globalization. What is so the next one is European traders. This was due to the trading activities of the various European companies which came to India during this period. So in this time, European traders means many people, many traders came from Europe to India and they established many companies. Already I have told they established the East India Company, Ezano and the Dutch East India Company. These all were established in India. Okay, so the many European traders they came from Europe to India and they did trade in India. Okay, and the discovery of a new all sea route from Europe to India via Cape of Good Hope by Vasco da Gama had for reaching repercussions on the civilized world. So the Vasco da Gamangravara வந்து ஒரு sea route வந்து மேக் பண்ணார் India to Europe, which is called the Cape of Good Hope. What is that? It is given in the book page number 305. First para you see that Cape of Good Hope, underline it. It was made by the Vasco da Gama. Okay, he came from Europe. Okay, so the and he only made the connect with Europe to India by the new sea route. Okay, so they did trade via the sea route. Next, Portuguese. Okay, the Portuguese under the leadership of Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut on May 1498. Okay, profits of goods brought by Vasco da Gama to Portugal were to 6 times cost of the entire expedition of India. So the Vasco da Gama தான் அவர் வந்து ஒரு லீடர் அந்த கலிக்கட்டில் வந்து அவர் தான் வந்து ட்ரேடுக்கு வந்து ஒரு முக்கியமானவர். ஓகே, ஸோ the profit he got more profit 6 times means for 1 rupee he got 60 rupees, like that he got more profit. Okay, the second trip of Vasco da Gama in 1502 led to the establishment of trading station at Calicut, Cochin and Kannur. Okay, so he made many trading station in Calicut and Cochin and Kannur. He made many trading station. Cochin was the early capital of the Portuguese in India. Okay, so the Vasco da Gama, he was the leader of the Portuguese. Okay, and he came at Calicut on May 1498 and he got many profits of goods. நிறைய பொருட்களுக்கு அதிகமான லாபத்தை செஞ்சார் வாங்கினார். Okay, and he made many the trading station, especially the Calicut, Cochin and Kannur, and the Cochin was the early capital of the Portuguese in India. Next one is the Dutch. Dutch undertook several voyages from 1596 and formed the Dutch East India Company 1602. Okay, in 1605 Admiral Van der Hagen established Dutch factory at Masulipatam. and Pettapoli, Devanapattinam. Okay, so the Dutch people, they established some companies in India, especially Dutch factory at Masulipatinam and Pettapoli, Devanapattinam. Okay, in 1610, upon negotiating with the king of Chandragiri, found another factory at Pulikat. Other commodities means பொருட்கள் exported by the Dutch were indigo and Bengal raw silk. So these all were exported by the Dutch people from India. Okay, the indigo, that is one of the dye. Already we have seen, yes or no, indigo is one of the dye, and the Bengal raw silk. These all were exported by the Dutch, and Pulicat was the headquarters of the Dutch in India. Okay, so you should keep in the mind very clearly, Cochin was the early capital of the Portuguese, and the Pulicat was the headquarters of the Dutch in India. Got it? So other country people, they came to India and they did trade and they got more profit. Got it? And they introduced the new modern type of trade links also. Got it? Next one is the British. Their trade link, you see there in the sea, many routes, like their flag. இதுதான் அவங்க ஃப்ளாக் மாதிரி அவங்க என்ன செஞ்சுருக்காங்க, ரூட்ஸ். இதெல்லாம் என்னது ரூட்ஸ், சி ரூட் 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 routes they did link with other areas, okay, other countries. On 31st December, Queen Elizabeth granted charter to the East India Company on the southeastern coast. The English established at Masulipatinam in 1611 and near Pulikkal in 1626. The Sultan of Golconda granted the English the Golden Fireman in 1632, by which they were allowed to trade freely in their kingdom ports. ஓகே, ஸோ த கோல்கண்டாவோட சுல்தான் வந்து இங்கிலீஷ்க்கு வந்து ஃப்ரீடம் கொடுத்தாரு. நீங்கள் வந்து எங்கேனாலும் என்ன செய்யலாம், ட்ரேட் பண்ணலாம், வியாபாரம் பண்ணலாம், வணிகம் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு அவங்களுக்கு ஃப்ரீடம் கொடுத்தாரு. ஓகே, in 1639 built a fortified factory in Madras which known as Fort St. George. Fort means what? Kotai. Yes or no? Fort means what? Kotai. Port means துறைமுகம். PORT, port means துறைமுகம். Okay, that is the difference between fort and port, which soon displaced Masulipatinam at headquarters of the English settlement on the Coromandel coast. Okay, so the British people were called as the English people. Okay, because they spoke English. Okay, so the Sultan of Golconda gave the freedom to the British people to do the trade. Okay, and they made some fort. Okay, so especially in St. George in Chennai. Okay, now we call that Chennai. In the early time, in British people, they are called Madras. Okay, it was called as Madras. Okay, so there were, now still it is there, St. George Fort. It was made by the British. Okay, and the Masulipatinam was the headquarters of the English in India. Okay, so the Portuguese capital is Cochin, and the Dutch capital is headquarters is Pulicat, and the British headquarters is, what is that, Masulipatinam in the Coromandel coast. Got it? The next one is the Danes. The Danes formed an East India Company and arrived in India in 1616. The Danish settlements were established at Trengeberg in 1620, which was the headquarters of Danes in India. So after the British, the Danes, okay, came, and the Danish, they were established company in India. Okay, on 1616. Okay, and their headquarters was Tranquebar in Tamil Nadu. Okay, but they got everything. They settled in India and they did trade in India. Some years after, in 1845, they were forced to give all the settlements, India's settlements, to the British. They were forced to sell all the India's settlement to the British. Okay, then The French. In the last we are going to see the French. The first French factory in India was established in 1668 by obtaining permission from the Sultan of Golconda. Okay, so all the companies they asked permission to Sultan of Golconda and he gave the permission to all the companies. Okay, in 1693 the Dutch captured Pondicherry was handed back to the French. So in 1693 the Pondicherry was captured by the Dutch but it was handed back to the French. So it was the headquarters of the French on 1701. Got it? So today this much. Okay, tomorrow we are going to see from the globalization in India. So today what we have seen about globalization, there are three stages in globalization. What are they? Archaic globalization, in the ancient time, the trade, how it was happened, about that is called the archaic globalization. The stage 2 means the next stage of the globalization, proto globalization. Many empire, Han Empire and the Roman, these all were there in the archaic globalization, and in proto globalization time the British East India Company they were found. The Spanish empires, the Dutch and British empires, they all were came, they did trade. Okay, it was called the proto globalization. And modern globalization means now it is we follow that, and many the multinational companies also they were made, they do the trade in between all the countries, as in India to China, India to Persia, Arabia, Europe, many countries are there, they to do the trade. Okay, after that we have seen about the trade in South India. Okay, and many traders they were came to South India and they did trade. Okay, who are the early traders, and then we have seen the European traders, the Portuguese and the Dutch, the British, the Danes and the French. Yes or no? The early traders in Kalinga, the modern Odisha. Okay, they trade the red colored stone decorative objects to the Southeast Asia. And European traders, the Vasco da Gama discovered the new sea route to India. So by the way, Europe traders they came to India and they did trade and they made many companies in India. Okay. After that, the Portuguese, the Vasco da Gama was the leader of the Portuguese, and he did many things and he do the trade and he got more profit. Okay, and he made many trading station in Calicut, Cochin and Kannur. So Cochin was the headquarter of the Portuguese. Okay, in India. And the Dutch, after that we have seen the Dutch, they got the permission of the Chandragiri, king of Chandragiri, and they made many factories, especially in Pudikat they made the factory. Okay, and they exported indigo, Bengal raw silk from India to this. Okay, and the British, they also got the permission from the Sultan of Golconda. So the British, the English people, they called the Sultan as Golden Fireman. Okay, and they made fort in Madras which is called the St. George Fort. Then the Danish came, they were established the companies in India, and finally they were forced to sell all their settlements to the British. Then we have seen the French, the Pondicherry was handed back to the French from the Dutch people. Okay, and they made the factory in India on 1668, and their headquarters was Pondicherry. Okay, so today we have seen this all. Study every day what are the questions are there in this lesson, complete it. Okay, what are the lessons are completed already, those lessons you have to finish, study all the lessons, one words and all the lessons, short answers, match everything, timeline, map practice every day. That is, so study for you, you are going to get the mark exam will be there, school will open at any time. So be prepared for the exam. Okay, don't roam here and there. Some people are roaming here and there. Boys are, especially boys are roaming back here and there. Yes or no? So don't waste your time. Got it? And don't think that no exam will be there. Okay, surely the exam should be there. So prepare and be ready for the exam. Got it? So study and write the short answers in the note. That is your work. If you copy and write, no use. I have told 1,000 times. Yes or no? Don't copy and write. Study and write. Map also practice. Timeline also I have given as homework. Yes or no? Study and write. Don't copy and write like small children. Study and write. That is very important work. Got it? Write your homework, all of you. Your homework is history lesson 1 to 3. Already we have completed 5 lessons in history. Yes or no? So from that you are going to take only 3 lessons. Book back question answers are there. Yes or no? From that you are going to take only the choose the best. You are going to write the choose the best as fill-ups. You know how to write. Yes or no? Choose on the fill up. Okay, you should not write any options. A, B, C, D options you should not write. Only write the question and answer. Got it? Study and write. Okay. This is your work. Finish your work and we will see tomorrow.